Welcome to the new season, a new season which promises a lot of action, a lot of fun, and a lot of many drama, much drama, if I should put it that way.
Miracle working.
Yeah, there are no miracle workers this time around. I'm pretty sure that all the miracle workers are not new in town, and we know who the miracle workers are. I predict that it's going to be a very interesting season in the sense that if you look at the configuration of all the major teams who will be staking for a slot as to who ends up being the king of England, I'm pretty sure that everybody has addressed what they need to address. It's pretty much clear the things that the various teams need to do. For the purposes of our discourse, we will be looking at some of the major teams in there who I probably think will be staking for the biggest of claim when it comes to who eventually allots the EPL. Number one, my friends will choose to call it the Deputy Premier League champions, Arsenal. I would want to look at Arsenal in retrospect and then look at some of the purchases they have done, look at the things that they have done. Arsenal, yes, we all know have a manager in Arteta. Arteta has been at this project for 3+ years, and under Arteta, they've seen some exciting news and exciting lows. You understand? And I think that what Arteta brings is obvious. I mean, he likes to possess play, he likes to control games, he likes to have an overload in the midfield with the defenders, and then he wants his team to be on the front foot every now and then. Arsenal had issues with their team last season. There were major issues regards the midfield. There were major issues regards people would want to say they are being lightweight up front, and they have moved to deal with some of these particular issues. I look at the midfield. Obviously, a lot of people did not see this coming, but going for Declan Rice, adding him to Partey, look at the purchases that they have made. And then I was privileged to watch some games of theirs in preseason. If Arsenal are able to put all of the pieces together, I think that the capture of Declan Rice is major in my candid opinion. What Declan Rice brings to this Arsenal team is a lot more dynamism. In the past, they could just depend on some few things, but once you throw in the Declan Rice equation, yes, people have their connotations about Declan Rice, but I think the Declan Rice is a fantastic piece of addition to this Arsenal team. And then Arsenal have also made some minor purchases. I think that the area of concern for me as a neutral has to be the fact that if you compare Arsenal to some of the major opponents in the PL, they are still a bit lightweight up front. News trickling in suggests that Gabriel Jesus, just like he did last season, will not start the season. So they are forced to start the season with Nketiah leading the attack. There are some good options in there, but if you want to win the EPL, you are as good as starting on the right foot first. And teams like City, other teams like Chelsea, who have made a lot of acquisitions, they are not waiting for you to get on the fast track. So it's very important that a team like Arsenal is able to sort out some of the things that it needs to do in the attack, especially. I think that defensively they have a sound unit in Ramsdale. There is still Gabriel in there. My good friend Saliba is back. They have options at the right fullback position. They have two options there: Ben White. There's Tomiyasu. At the left fullback, there's Tierney. There is also Zichenko. So there are very good options in all throughout the team, but they need to sort out who leads the team, who becomes the arrowhead. And once they're able to do that and they're able to hit the front note, I think that if I were going to make a prediction, I think that Arsenal is one of the teams that would very much give City a push till the end of the season. Granted, they are able to keep most of their key players fit. Once the key players are fit, once the players who matter are always motivated to do so, I think that Arsenal will be a force to reckon with. And I honestly think that if you look through the ranks of Arsenal, key components you would have to look at. I will not look beyond Declan Rice. Declan Rice is going to be phenomenal. A lot of people have spoken a lot about Declan Rice in some vein. I think that if you look at this generation of English talent, he's one of those talents who is very much underrated. I was surprised they had to buy him at that price, but obviously, I mean, we all know how inflated the market is today. But I think that Declan Rice will be a major force in whether Arsenal wins the league or otherwise. He will be major, especially in those biggest of games. If you look at why Arsenal had to fizzle out on the trophy eventually, I think that most of the big games they failed to show up, especially in the business end of the season. So Declan Rice will be solid in there. If Arsenal are going to win the league, Declan Rice has to be there. I think that somebody like Martinelli also has to keep his form all throughout the season. If Martinelli is able to keep his form all throughout the season, Arsenal will be phenomenal. I don't need to talk about Saka. Saka, he's shown that he's a guy who belongs to the biggest of stages. And so Arsenal, I think, will be a force to reckon with when the final clarion call comes calling.
There's a reason I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey. This season, I'm going for Arsenal. Ironically, I think that you hit the nail, right on the head, spot on. One thing a lot of people are refusing to acknowledge is Arsenal last season. They were second in terms of goals scored, 88 goals scored, 43 goals conceded. This is an Arsenal side that did not really play with a very proven striker in Gabriel Jesus. He's not really proven. Gabriel Jesus will never get you 20 plus league goals. But this Arsenal side was able to outscore teams like Liverpool, teams like Chelsea, teams like Manchester United. They scored 88 goals and conceded just 43 goals. So Arsenal attacking wise, they do not have a problem. Though, they do not have an out and out proven striker. Gabriel Jesus last season did not start the season. So it's not news that this season is not really going to start. I think that Arsenal's problem, I'm hoping that they can correct that, is the ability to keep their head at the business end of the season, which you spoke about. What undid Arsenal last season was their character. If they're able to maintain that consistency, get men who can marshal the team to say that, guys, we are almost there. Let's keep our head. Because I think games against Southampton, or those games that they threw away, games that they shouldn't have drawn, they drawn. I think that it was as a result of the pressure that City were mounting on them, and they needed guys with cool heads. I'm hoping that the acquisition of Declan Rice, the acquisition of Kai Havertz, these guys would reinvigorate the team with their energy, their experience. And one thing we also need to acknowledge is the boys are young boys. Arsenal has the youngest team in the league. Now there's no Granit Xhaka, so they actually have the youngest team in the league. So we shouldn't expect them to be mentally strong in terms of the ability to maintain that high mental fortitude. So last season is pardon, but I think that this season Arsenal have been there. They've seen the disappointment and all of that. So for me, ironically, when we get there, we might probably be predicting our top four teams. I think that Arsenal are well placed to push City and probably win the title this season. And their acquisitions, brilliant acquisition, but how Arteta is trying to play the likes of Trossard and Kai Havertz. It's up to him. I do not know more than him, but I'm hoping that he'll be able to get it right at the attacking end of the field. Arsenal's problem, aside they keeping a strong mental fortitude, is their defense, because you cannot score 88 goals and concede almost half of that, 43 out of the 88. So they need to fix their defense. That's where Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba and whoever decides to play at left back or right back, Arteta needs to sort that out. But I'm hoping that he'll be able to fix that up. But this Arsenal team for me is very, very good. They don't have a problem with goal scoring, because last season they were actually raking 2.9 goals scored per game. That's close to about 3 goals per game. So you can't have an issue with their attack. The main issue is with their defense.
I think this season Arsenal is trying to correct some things that the teams that became like a flash in the pan as being second, other than City and Chelsea did. I'm talking about Manchester United. I'm just bringing a correlation because Manchester United in 2017-2019, that was Mourinho's second season. He was second in the league. That was when City were the Centurions. Now, to the end, at the end of the season, there were some things that he actually wanted the team to do for him. That is, to get in some players to make up for whatever happened. One of them was a defender. That was when he started with the Harry Maguire bit. He was actually chasing Maguire, and he actually wanted another striker because the previous season was Ibrahimovic, who was fairly okay. He scored some double digits. So the striker brought in was Lukaku to make up for it. But then things didn't really go in the way that he actually wanted things to go, because during the start of the season, everything was on. Lukaku was already there. During the course of the season, because most of the players that he was actually looking for did not meet up to whatever he wanted, they capitulated and he went off. And I think it is one thing that Arsenal have done well. They were able to recognize that during the course of the season, especially the second part, you had Partey, who was an anchor in the midfield. He lost form. And when Partey lost form, the only thing that we could see was that Arsenal started capitulating, started conceding some goals. Another thing that they've done right where they added is this one player that they've signed, that is Kai Havertz. Because this is a player that when he was playing at Chelsea and even when he was at Bayern Leverkusen, he is able to play in almost any of those four positions: left wing, right wing, number 10, number 9. So I don't even think that Eddie Nketiah will be the only person that will have all of this burden of attack, because Trossard can play a false 9, Kai Havertz can play a false 9, and they also pose, I wouldn't say a threat, but a competition to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus bringing him in, there was no way they were guaranteed 20 goals, even combined. It was something that would just come as and when, because of one, his inconsistency in play, two, his injury record. So, just like we said, just like Kofi also said, in the midfield, it has fairly been beefed up. There were talks of Partey leaving the fold, going to Saudi. Arsenal was able to manage this very, very well. So now in the midfield, they can afford to play either Partey in the holding role, push Rice forward, or play Rice in the holding role, push Partey forward, and they can play a 3-man midfield, a 2-man midfield, whichever way that they would want to be. For the back line, they've done well. They didn't really lose any of their integral players. They managed to keep them. It's the up front that, like we said, if you want to win the league, it is two things. Either you are very good defensively or you score a lot of goals. Last season, Arsenal was fairly good in both. They conceded like almost a middle table team, and they did not score enough like champions. But we are expecting that this season, if it is, for their defense, I'm not expecting their defense to be that resilient, robust defense like a Chelsea defense that has won the league, or a Leicester defense that won in 15-16. But I'm expecting the attack, just like they did that season. They spread the goals across. The only team to have 3 attackers racking double figures, that is Martinelli, that is Saka, and also Odegaard. Now, having the inclusions of Trossard and Havertz, I'm expecting the goals to be spread across, not necessarily being the work of only Gabriel Jesus. So Gabriel Jesus' injury, I don't expect it to affect them, because last season he wasn't an integral part in the team. So, but in all of this, I am still not expecting Arsenal to win the league.
Anyway, one team that we all expect that will win the league is Manchester City, and I look at this City side, and there's so much we can talk about them. Very little to add, because they are a very good side. Yes, they've lost someone like Riyad Mahrez, they've lost Ike Gundogan, but they've equally replaced Gundogan with, for me, one of the best press-resistant players and progressive players in the Premier League in Mateo Kovacic. Anybody who has watched Kovacic at Real Madrid, Inter Milan would know how good he is a player. In the Chelsea setup, the position he was allowed to play literally did not get us to see the best of him. But I watched him at City during the preseason, and it was like he was made for this team. He's not struggling to play for this team, and it tells you, yes, he's not coming to replace Ike Gundogan, because Gundogan will give you a lot of goals. Gundogan gives you a lot of diversity in the midfield position. He's not obviously not a direct replacement, but he's a good addition. City do have enough cover for Gundogan. They could either decide to play Phil Foden in that position. They could decide to go with, their man Bernardo Silva. So for City, they would not really miss Gundogan a lot. The area that I think City might bleed a lot is the goals and assists that Riyad Mahrez is taking away, and who is likely to replace those, bring back those goals, because Riyad Mahrez last 2 seasons was averaging 15 goals, 13 assists. That's outrageous for a player who is not an out and out starter. So imagine he taking those goals away. Who is coming in to literally replace those goals? Bernardo Silva will not give you those number of goals. He's more of an expanded guy, the guy who opens play and all of that, does all the work that you do not really see, but he's not really the scorer like Riyad Mahrez is. Riyad Mahrez is very direct. So that area, City will be affected, the left side of midfield. But I think that City have enough Arsenal in them to again go at the title and go at teams like they have always done. Again, I'm sure there will be the SI unit for teams that are literally becoming the chasing pack. One addition to the team, which I think today or yesterday the news broke out, was Josko Gavidio being signed. Agreement. He's in Manchester to do his medical. The world should watch out for this guy. Those who saw him at the World Cup, he is the best left center back in the world currently. So this is how one pundit describes him. He's a blend of Lisandro Martinez, the guy at Manchester United, and Varane, with a lot more aggressiveness and skill. So imagine what Varane gives you, Lisandro Martinez gives you, with more addition in terms of aggressiveness, and he's that good. But as to how he's going to be integrated into that team, only Pep Guardiola knows, because they have 6 center backs who can play in almost about the same position. But that tells you the depth of Manchester City. So for me, not so much to talk about City. They will still be the team to beat. Erling Haaland will still get his goals. I think that he may not hit the heights of last season, but he will get 30 plus league goals, because now he's more adjusted to the team. He knows how to move with the team, what to do when Kevin De Bruyne has the ball. So he now understands the players better. Some may say that's even a scary Arsenal, because even in his first season that he didn't get to play with them often, look at the number of goals he scored. But I think that teams will also try and figure him out this season. But for me, City still look like the team to beat, even though I'm rooting for Arsenal.
Well, we talk of City, we talk about Manchester. Maybe nobody is seeing this coming. I see John Stones moved into the midfield. I see a modern day Beckenbauer. With Pep Guardiola, everything is possible, and
Possible.
I think that City are playing the cheat code. Listen, the world cannot watch City do the things it is doing. No, I mean, you cannot have all these qualities and still sign Gabidol. No, you can't do that. But let me speak about Manchester United, the rivals of City. For so long a time, they were the masters of Manchester. It looks like Man City doing one over Manchester United by winning the treble and doing it in style. City do not have a lot of the medals like Manchester United does have, but City have become the new sheriffs in town. They have become the SI unit. Obviously, a lot of people who have traveled to the city of Manchester will tell you that these days, even the kids are preferring to go to City. One, because of how the training facilities in Manchester City are world class, and it's one of the pluses of the sheikhs who have managed this huge transformation of Manchester City. But to Manchester United, I think that Eric Ten Hag walks in, miracle worker, says that he is going to be the one to end errors. And then I think that first season he's able to win the Carabao Cup. He's able to let Manchester United come back again into the Champions League. Yes, they fizzled out along the way, because at certain point in time in the course of last season, there was talk, although subtly the Manchester United were title contenders, but it quickly evaporated. And United have deficiencies in their team. As at last season, had deficiencies in their team. They have moved to address some of those deficiencies. I mean, obviously, anybody who watched Manchester United last season, Casemiro's solid player, a player with a beast mentality. The new captain, Bruno Fernandes, solid player. But there again, there was that little issue about Ericsson, very quality player. But a lot of people felt that when United were out of position, or when United needed to accelerate on the front foot quickly, the real value of Ericsson was not really felt. Yes, he can give you all of those cross-carpet passes and give you all of those imaginary passes. You understand? The creativity. But there again, you need, like you spoke about in the case of Kovacic, you need somebody who can help the team when they are out of possession and then help the team more effectively when they are in position. So that's why quickly, last season, United flirted a lot with Frankie de Jong. Quickly, they had to move in for Mason Mount. And then you look at the profile of Mason Mount, I believe that he is the type of player Manchester United very much wants in that Eriksen role. And yes, there's been a lot of talk about Mason Mount in pre-season and all of that. I think that his experience and the fact that he's 23, all right, but he's been a player who has seen it at the topmost level when it comes to elite club football. Remember that this is a guy who gave the assist for Kai Havertz to score in that Champions League final against City. So yes. So I think that Mason Mount will be a valuable piece of this Manchester United, and they are wanting to take the next step. You understand? Now the biggest issues has to be who becomes the arrowhead, because yes, I mean, last season one of the deficiencies in this expensively assembled Manchester United team was that there was not an out and out striker. Yes, you could play Rashford in there. Occasionally, you could play Anthony Martial through the middle. But those are not players who have the tendencies of born strikers. You understand? And so there was the need to move for that number 9. And United had to flirt with Harry Kane. They quickly knew about all of the shenanigans associated with wanting Harry Kane. Were very decisive. That's the one thing I'm excited about Manchester United. We're very decisive, moved on. They have gone to acquire the services of Rasmus. Whether he becomes that game changer is another subject matter altogether. But I am pretty sure and I'm convinced that based on the track record of Erik ten Hag and his transformation of young players, I think that Manchester United have found a gem in Rasmus. I mean, there are things that you do not teach a striker. Athleticism, ability to be at the right place at the right time, and goal scoring instinct. Yes, I mean, you can play with all the statistics, but I am thinking that, listen, this is a guy who will settle in subtly. He will take his time to settle in, but once he does settle in, I am not too far distance from that conviction that he will be a top player for Manchester United. There are other teething issues with Manchester United. Will Greenwood come back? Will Anthony improve? Will he quit all of the shenanigans? Will Sancho step up? There are issues because on the basis of what we have seen this far, Anthony doesn't look like a player who should be starting games for Manchester United. Did you understand? If Greenwood is integrated into that squad, people feel that he is best suited for the right position. And so the dynamics are interesting. I think that if Manchester United are also able to keep their focus and their direction, they have too much quality in that squad to be able to push to be one of the teams that eventually makes it to the top of the podium.
Percy, maybe he has his take on Chelsea. 60 seconds, I believe the absence of David De Gea will take a lot out of United because the Manchester United last season considered they kept 17 clean sheets and were averaging just a goal per game. And for me, I think that was due to the brilliance of David De Gea. He had his own issues, but let's see what happens, in the course of the season. But I'm hoping that
not to discount that point. I think that De Gea has been a fantastic servant of Manchester United, but I believe in errors. I believe in moving with the times. The truth of the matter is that if you look at the teams that are dominant in the world today, City, you look at Barcelona in the past, you look at Real Madrid, You look at all of the teams that are dominant, that are winning the biggest of titles. The goalkeeper is virtually an outfield player. He's an outlet for an outfield player. So if you do not have a goalkeeper who understands the game, and you see, the truth of the matter also is that if you have a goalkeeper who can read a game and can get play initiated, it takes a lot of pressure away from the whole of the team.
With respect to these teams that we've talked about, almost every single team had a lot of acquisitions, United, Chelsea, and one team that is doing a massive overhaul as a result of probably trying to oust their own demons is Liverpool. Now, this is a team that from 2015, they actually started a whole new revolution. And this revolution had to start with the coming in of Klopp and the acquisition of Mane starting, Firmino the first, Mane second, then Salah. You had Van Dijk, Wijnaldum coming in, and they did what they won the league. They won the Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup. But then, just as every dynasty is being built, City's dynasty doesn't look like they are coming down any time soon. But with Liverpool, it's over. And it started last season with the departure of Mane. Mane had to leave for Bayern Munich. And after that, this season, the Saudis have their eyes on two teams. It's actually Liverpool and Chelsea. They've actually gone into oust a lot of their players. That is starting with their fantastic captain, Henderson, after 12 years of being in the team from Sunderland, had to depart. You also had Wijnaldum had already left. And you also had Fabinho, who was actually an addition to the team in 2018, helping them to win the Champions League, also departing to Saudi Arabia. So it meant that the trio in the midfield that actually made them win the league, the Champions League and everything, that is Henderson and Wijnaldum and Fabinho are all out. But in spite of them leaving, they've been able to bring out players that are, you wouldn't say they are up to it, but some of them are talented, probably more than those robust midfielders. So it tells you that the team wants to take a different direction, and that includes McAllister, that is the star, one of the stars of the Argentine team from Brighton and Hove Albion. And you also have the guy whose name is a password, Jibojilai. He's also part of the team, and now they are trying to flirt with that Southampton boy. Lavia, and that one is a whole different thing. Maybe when we are doing some other, maybe deadline day and it has not gone through, we'll bring you some of them. So they've changed the whole method, and I think I understand the direction the team wants to take. We've always been talking about Liverpool being a team that relies on its inverted winger, that is the right back and the left back, Robertson and that is Trent Alexander-Arnold, to give assist, because the midfield hardly gives assist. And it is one thing that has really worried them, because whenever those two players are out, you realize that the team is not able to do much. So as a result of that, taking these three robust midfielders out, bringing in a player like McAllister, who can play a number 8, he can play a number 10. There are even sometimes that he has played a left wing and a right wing, and also bringing in Jibojilai, who also is more offensive. It tells you that the team wants to diversify. They want to broaden their scope with respect to where the assists and the goals come from. They don't want the goals to be very, very coming from almost all the time the wings. You go up front, you realize that the lone ranger in that dynasty is Salah, because Firmino has also gone to Saudi Arabia, and I told you earlier, Mane has left. So now they have options. Salah's place, of course, is there. Now the left wing, you have Cody Gakpo, who is there, and you also have Darwin Núñez. Luis Diaz. He is also on the left wing, and Darwin Núñez last season. If you follow him, you realize that he's a player that does not flourish in first season. UD Almeria, when he came from South America, first season he wasn't really that good. Second season he hit the ground running. Going to Benfica, first season it wasn't really good for him. Second season he was the best player and goal king. And I am not saying it's something that is going to continue. I'm just giving you a trajectory. Something
Trend analysis based on confusion.
Trend analysis.
So Darwin
Núñez this season
is coming good.
Now he has very little competition. We don't have Origi anymore. There is no Firmino. So he has in his mind he's the number 9. So Liverpool I think the Gengen pressing is over, because with this squad that you don't have that mechanical midfield anymore. This is an elaborate midfield that everybody wants to do something. But there is one area that I don't really know why they didn't really look at. That is their defense. Because the center pair, you realize that Van Dijk is on the downward trajectory. You watch him very well last season, last 2 seasons. He doesn't have his athleticism anymore. He's growing old. He's now hitting his 30s. And he was the one that we saw to be the best defender. And he had other players who were complementing him. And those other players were actually sub to him. And they have not even seen any improvement. You talk of Joao Matip. You talk of Gomez. And you talk of Konate. You see these players and you are like, why were there no replacement for them? So I'm expecting that transfer window has not ended, but Liverpool doesn't look like they are going in for any other player for the defense.
A team that have similar issues, like Liverpool, is Chelsea. And for me, Chelsea going into this season or ahead of this season, I think that their biggest signing is Mauricio Pochettino. Not the players they've decided to bring in, but the coach that they've decided to acquire. The guy is a brilliant manager. I love his body of work, from Espanyol through to Southampton, then to Tottenham Hotspur. He's able to work with young guys. He's able to translate his ideas into them. How well he's going to get his ideas implemented into this Chelsea team is another thing altogether. One thing that for me worried the Chelsea team last season is their defense. You do not, score 33 goals and concede 47 goals. They had actually a goal -9, so they have issues with defense. Have they sorted it out? No, because and it's even more dangerous because they've lost Fofana to the end of the season. He's not coming back. He's injured. They've lost Aspilicueta. They've lost Koulibaly. The only recognized and decent centre back in there is their captain Thiago Silva. You cannot count on Chalobah. They've signed this young talent. Rhys James, sorry. They have Thiago Silva. He's about the only decent, good
Let's
get serious. This is a serious show. But the point I'm trying to make here is you've not replaced Fofana. You've not replaced Koulibaly. Koulibaly may be old, but he comes with a lot of experience. Fofana comes with a lot of energy and all of that. I was expecting that this season will be the season that he would actually blossom into the player we're hoping to be. But these 3 defenders, Chelsea have not been able to replace. So there are still issues. Even with these defenders, Chelsea conceded 49 goals and scored only 33. That's why I'm saying that they had issues like Liverpool. Liverpool also had issues. They created 103 big chances, and out of that, they squandered 78 out of them and scored just 75. So it tells you that these two teams have similar issues. Have Chelsea also corrected their attacking line? I think no, they've not. One player I'm excited about, and I saw him in preseason, is Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
His hold-up play is brilliant. He's very strong. And be able to get a proven number 9 to partner Nicholas Jackson, Chelsea will be very good up front. I do not think that Nkunku cuts it for me. He might be more of a wide player, play the role of Raheem Sterling. I do not see Raheem Sterling starting for Chelsea.
No.
I watched him during preseason and he has not impressed me, and he is not going to impress me anytime. So Chelsea have a lot of issues to deal with. They need to sort out their defense because Kofi has said it time again. If you want to win the league, it's either you have a good defense or a good attack. Chelsea do not have both. And for me, it's danger going into the season. You are coming up against teams who are very well prepared, boosted their attack, and are willing to go. So it's looking exciting for the big guys, looking exciting for the big teams. But I mean, we've spoken extensively about these big guys, big teams. The relegation battle always gets exciting, when the season is about over. For me, teams like Luton Town, I think they will go back. I do not know why they came into the Premier League. If you look at the Premier League, you see a league that is professionally run. Luton Town are struggling. They do not even know the venue with which they are going to play the league.
It's not up to it.
This tells you that, Charlie, this is not the Ghana Premier
League.
League.
Up to 20,000.
The leagues. So they are not well prepared. Who have they signed? I think that Luton Town will go back. I think that the teams that have been promoted, Burnley will stay. They have a core
They
unit.
are a Premier League team.
They've not lost any team. I think Burnley is a Premier League team, very well run club. I think that a team that might join them last season, they escaped with a scruff of their neck, is Everton. But I see the Everton this season, they will go down. So I'm looking at Everton, I'm looking at Luton Town, and I'm probably looking at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace last season had almost about 10 games remaining. They started doing wonders, winning games left, right, center, so they survived. But I think that this season, teams have beefed up. I heard somebody, telling me that Nottingham Forest might go now. I do not think Forest will go now. Forest have done some pretty good signings. So I'm looking at these teams that would, they'll fled to relegation. Luton Town, it's certain. Everton and Crystal Palace, guys.
For my relegation for Crystal Palace, it's they have this history. You know, they are actually the team that has the highest point to go on relegation. It was actually the 42 man, that is the 42 team league. They had over 44 points, 49 points actually, and they still went on relegation. So they are a perennial in and out. They go, they come, they go, they come, they go, they come. But then I'm not really going. I'm going with the first one, Luton Town. Their budget. You check their budgets. You check their not just even their stadium, their training facility. You check their coaching staff and everything. You are like, coming to the Premier League is a blessing for them. And that 1 year, they will rake in a lot of money in order for them to just get the team. So for me, Luton Town is going. Everton have been flirting for the past 2 seasons. But then, the only time I'm going to give Everton maybe a dog's chance is maybe if they make some sign, and they are not doing it. And I think the Usmanov and some of these the Russian issue is really affecting them, because their owner is part of these oligarchs and it has not been settled. They are not able to sign. I think this season they would go. I think I agree with you on those first two. But the third one is one team that we've all not been looking out for. You talked of Nottingham Forest, and I think Nottingham Forest will go this season because last season, I don't know, they made a mistake with which Crystal Palace did in 2011, 2012, 2013 season. They bought so many players just because they've come into the Premier League. And the players were so many that Steve Cowell didn't have a first 11 that he ever repeated. Majority of the players he bought, including Jesse Lingard, and it's like some of them were just a year contract. They come and they leave. So for me, Luton Town, 100% they are going. For Everton, I give them about 70%. And Nottingham Forest, I think they
Ovia, take my word back. Take my word back. I'll replace Crystal Palace with Sheffield United. I'll replace Crystal Palace with Sheffield United.
Well, I don't think Luton Town will go. I don't. I've been watching them. They are a good footballing team. Very good footballing team. Maybe a lot of people have not been watching the championship, but if you watch the championship last season, 2 teams stood out for me. Yes, maybe 3. Sheffield, Luton Town, and Burnley. Burnley were absolutely awesome under company, Vincent Company. They are not the same team that were synonymous to the kick and run. They play football the right way. Yes, they play football the right way this time. And Luton Town are a fantastic team. Yes, I probably would align with you guys on the angle that they need a lot more quality in terms of who gets to play in the team, making this step up. You understand? But I'm pretty sure that they know the things that are at hand. They know all of the dangers that being in the APL poses to their survival in the league. I think that of the 3 teams that have been promoted to the league, I think that Sheffield looks the most likely to go. I still stick with my guns that Luton Town will stay. I'm looking at Wolves also. Wolves, for a long time, have flirted a long walk with relegation. And they've been lucky. But you look at the configuration of this Wolves team, they are almost selling some of their most experienced players. I mean, some Eminence is gone. My guy is gone to Saudi Arabia to make money. You understand? So I think that I'll tip Wolves, Sheffield, and probably Fulham if they do not sort some of their managerial situations out. Yes, I am hearing that I do not know if he's left. You understand? I mean,
left.
yeah, but Silva
They also
was
have
one of the
issues with
yes,
Arnautovic.
yes.
He wants to go to Saudi Arabia and enjoy the oil money. They say no.
No, it's not Anatovic. There are other striker. What's the name
Hey,
of that striker?
Mitrovic.
Mitrovic, yes, Mitrovic. Yeah. So, but they had issues with their manager. He was being courted by one of the biggest Saudi teams. You understand? And Marco Silva, from all indications, might leave. You understand? He has his fingerprint on this particular Fulham team. The danger with some of these teams is that when the manager leaves and then you do not steady the ship in time, by the time you get the ship steadied, you are already in the muddy waters of relegation. So my choice of Fulham will very much be dependent on whether Marco Silva stays or otherwise.
One key, thing ahead of this season will be who gets to take the crown away from Erling Haaland. So last season, these were the three contenders: Erling Haaland, with 36 goals; Harry Kane with 30 goals; Ivan Toney with 20 goals. Ivan Toney, because of his issues, is out this season. Who becomes that third force? I'm coming around, and I think that this season it might just be Darwin Nunes. I think that this season it might just be Darwin Nunes who might be, or Mo Salah. Any of these two, Darwin Nunes or Mo Salah, because if Darwin Nunes does not step up, Mo Salah, he will get you the 25 plus league goals. He needs to break that 30 barrier from last season and this season. But I do not think that anybody will take the crown away from Erling Haaland. As when I was talking earlier about Man City, I told you that now he's accustomed to playing with the team more, understands movement more, understand what Kevin De Bruyne will want, what Jack Grealish want, what maybe Palmer or any of these guys want. So I think that if I do not think anybody will take the crown away from Erling Haaland until he leaves the Premier League, this guy will become the top scorer for the next 2-3 seasons until he leaves. Don't mention Rasmus Højlund. The guy Haaland the Højlund. But I think that nobody would compete with Haaland. I think he would hit 35. He might not cross 36, but he'll hit 35 league goals.
well, I want to believe you regard the top two. I think Kane will be there. I still maintain that Harry Kane is a better striker than Haaland. Yes, don't be deceived by all of these statistics, but Kane will be there, Haaland will be there. My good friend Percy tells me because of trend analysis, Darwin Nunes might be there. I honestly struggle to figure out in my mind what it is like for Darwin Nunes to get 20 plus league goals. I don't get it. Because I've watched him all throughout preseason. He's committing those same sins of last year. You understand? I think that I want to look around it. I think that with somebody like Pochettino's reputation, Jackson could be there. I've looked at Jackson enough. I think he's built for the EPL. You look at his physique, you look at his pace. You understand? Traditionally, if you look at players who have very much thrived in the EPL, they have pace, they have physique, and their awareness in terms of their movement. I've looked at the guy. I think that he ticks all the boxes. The only mitigating factor against probably Jackson being on that list has to be the supply. Has to be the supply. But if they are able to get the supply right, I have no doubt that this is a guy who is this is a guy who is scheduled to be one of the players for the next level.
The guy is good.
Very good. But you see, there again, the caveat is that he could be that deceptive kind of player.
Like what some team did last season during preseason, or what they did to us last day.
But you see, in all of this, expect my man Rasmus to be there. I am telling you, I am telling you that because you see, I've watched this guy a couple of times with Atlanta. One, you cannot deny the fact that the guy has the instinct of a goal scorer.
He does, but come on.
But there again, you walk into a team that potentially has Mason Mount, that potentially could have Greenwood, that potentially has Rashford, that has Bruno Fernandes. They will serve you with a lot of opportunities.
Signing is as good as the games he's played and as bad as the games he's going to play. So let's see what happens. So Kofi predicts, Erling Haaland and Harry Kane
should be there.
and Jackson.
Yes,
top
Jackson.
three.
Yeah, top three.
So my should I change it? No, I still maintain Haaland, Kane, and Darwin Núñez.
For me, I think Haaland, his goal scoring prowess, it transcends beyond Premier League. We are supposed to compare him with Europe, so for him, outstanding. It's not like this is the first season. Nicholas Jackson, I'm surprised you didn't mention him, because if you take someone, that's arrived. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's good.
If you
We're shooting from shocks.
Yeah.
They're giving us
If
this
you
beautiful
take
thing.
Pochettino, like you said, if you watch him when he went to Southampton, there was this player, Jay Rodriguez. Nobody knew him. He worked with Jay Rodriguez. He had Osvaldo and his Lallana, and he transformed Jay Rodriguez. Save an injury he had. He should have led England as the number 9 in the World Cup. He goes to Tottenham. Their number 9 was actually Adebayo.
Someone is smiling as a Chelsea fan. The
Yeah.
way we are waxing lyrical about Jackson and all of that.
He
The
went.
person is
He
smiling.
went to Tottenham. Their number 9 actually was what do you call it, Adebayo. By then, Tuchel had left, and they had also brought in Roberto Soldado, who was also not really doing well. He brought Harry Kane, who had just been sent to Leicester as for a loan. He even played with Vardy, and he came back. And when he came back, he was more or less in the second team.
Yeah.
And he brought him in and sold, It was Adebayo, and it was an issue. And that season, he actually demolished most of the teams. He almost won the Golden Boot, and he never looked back. So for him, he never takes. If you take his record, he never takes strikers. That's well known. He takes the norm. And you check Nicholas Jackson, I think he'll be the end. I still side with the fact that Darwin Núñez, his second season, because somebody said it. I actually went to watch it, and you realize that he struggles, and he has played in 3 different leagues.
Yeah.
He played in the Spanish League, UD Almeria. Watch his second season; he was phenomenal, and he went in the second season of Benfica, and he was also phenomenal. He scored over 30 goals. So for me, this season, preseason is because last season, if you watch Haaland, the preseason he was just playing some things, but when he started the season, for me, first one, I'm not bringing Mo Salah in. I think he's fading off. He might score his 20 plus goals, but to win the Golden Boot, he won't be past. So Haaland, in no particular order, Haaland, Jackson, and Darwin Núñez.
Haaland, Jackson, the Darwin Núñez. The Kofi may not like it, but Núñez is Núñez. He will be there. But I mean, brilliant setting, brilliant food. We are at Shocks at the mall. Listen, guys, amazing place to be. Spend your weekends, bring the family. Shocks in Takrady, at the Takrady Mall. Brilliant place. They have an awesome place for your kids to play their video games, to play the pool. After this show, I'm actually pitching, Kofi.
Kofi doesn't play games.
Kofi with Percy, the pool. But guys, amazing place to come see the meal you can have best at Shocks. Anyway, before we wrap up our season, preview, we cannot go without who wins the league and our top 4. Snappy. So obviously, Arsenal. Arsenal, we are winning the league. We are winning the league this season. There's a reason why last season I donned the City jersey. Like I said in my submission, listen, Arsenal just need to keep their head and they are good.
Which they won't keep.
So I'm going for Arsenal. I'm going for City second. I'm going for Liverpool. and United fourth. Liverpool, because I think they've been able to sort out their issues. So these are my top four: Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United. And my dark horse, and guys, you could add your dark. My dark horse will be Newcastle, Chelsea. Newcastle, they will not break into the top four again because last season they had a surprise element with them. A lot of people did not know what to expect and they were surprising everybody left, right, center. This season, they'll have to combine the Champions League with the league. They do not have that squad depth to be able to play those two
be like Leicester.
competitions. So they might just falter along the way. That's why I'm not putting them. Chelsea, we all know they're trying to build a new team. So these are my top four. So maybe anybody can take. So Arsenal, this season, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United.
Well, in no particular order, I don't
No,
think.
we need an order.
No,
Who wins the league? Me, Arsenal winning the league. You cannot say in no particular. Give us the top four.
Yes, I'll give you the top four. I'll zoom into. Liverpool will not make the top four. They won't. They won't. No, Liverpool will not make the top four. They won't. Arsenal will be there. City will be there. Manchester United will be there.
Who is that third force? Fourth force.
I think probably Chelsea.
Chelsea over Liverpool.
Kofi, I don't know why Kofi shied away from predicting his top four.
Let me give you the top four in that particular order. RS Due.
I've already said it. City might not win it because they've done it all.
I
So.
am tipping Arsenal to win the league. I'm
But-
tipping Arsenal
But the first time,
Let him repeat it again.
Arsenal to win the league. I mean, in all of my dreams, I see Arsenal.
I also think
Arsenal will win the league. I think that City might just place second. Manchester United might be third. Chelsea might be fourth.
Player of the season.
But Manchester United could be the dark horses
United could be the dark horses.
in terms of who wins the league.
Okay, my dark horse was in terms of who's breaking into the top four. But if somebody is going to be a dark horse to win the league, it will be Liverpool because we are not expecting them to win.
Let me put it on record. Liverpool will really struggle this season. Why? Before Percy comes in, there is not enough adequate cover in that midfield. Liverpool still have not addressed Liverpool have not addressed the defensive midfield position. And then there is an apparent lack of pace in the center of defense. Van Dijk is not the same player he was 3 seasons ago.
Liverpool have their issues, but you see, experience is always.
No, you cannot use this defense to win the league. No.
You think my dark horse as Liverpool winning the league is off? But my
It's as good as telling me CPP will win the next election.
So, but Kofi and I agree on Arsenal winning the league. I don't know about you.
For me, funny enough, I think United will win the league. That's for me. I think United will win the league. Don't ask me why.
I'm not going to ask
I
you
have
why.
not seen.
You
I have not seen anything.
I
have not seen anything. But remember that Arsenal are going to their 20th season without winning the
What I
league.
like about Percy
Yes.
is his predictions.
Me,
They
yeah,
never
so-
come to pass. So that's what
Yeah, that is why this season I have not seen anything. This time, the only thing is that I have not seen Arsenal winning the league, but I see them winning a trophy. I don't know which one will be
okay.
a trophy, but not the league, and not definitely the Champions League. Maybe of the Carabao and the FA, they will have to do with. Now, my top four. City obviously will be there.
Okay.
United will be there.
So City first, United second.
Chelsea will be there.
But you just told us United will win the league.
No, I just told you that the top four is Arsenal, Chelsea, City, and United.
So arrange them according
United
to who?
first.
So United first,
City second,
City second,
Chelsea third,
Chelsea third,
Arsenal fourth.
Arsenal fourth.
And my dark horse,
So Liverpool is out of the top four.
were you expecting to put them there? Listen, one thing you forget is that never write Chelsea off. See, Chelsea is, they are one polarized team. When you see them,
Unpredictable.
see, every season, the season before that, they are in their worst. They are not a team that has a straight line. The season before they won the league with what do you call it, Conte, they were sixth. There was a time they almost went to relegation. They win the league. The next season they are off. Then the next season they come on. So for Chelsea, expect them to win a trophy and expect them to be in the top 4.
Interesting. Lots of predictions from my guys here. But as always, this is Sports 101. I'll build up to the season. A week from today, actually, City are taking on Burnley on Friday. But there's a big game on Sunday. Sunday special. Chelsea taking on Liverpool. That would Arsenal, yes.
Man City.
Arsenal taking on Manchester City. Yes, it's opening the big door. Talima, is it the excitement from Arsenal?
Probably this is the trophy that I said is Arsenal will win. Maybe they will have to
join us, for our entire season coverage. Kofi will be here, Percy will be here, the entire team will be here. Very special packages on you every Sunday, 7:00 p.m. will come your way live on Sports 101. But more importantly, watch the show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like our videos. And we need to know your take on the issues that we've discussed in the comment section. We'll be engaging you live. But today we shot our video from the Shocks located in Takrady at the Takrady Mall. Let me run by you their phone number so that if you want to get in touch with them, you can reach out to them. So 027 63 36 333. 027 63 36 333. Then there's 050 56 16 069. 050 56 16 069. So your parties, anything, you can just come here and have fun, guys. Till we meet on Sunday, and probably on that big game on Sunday that is coming up. The guys should watch out for more from Sports 101, guys.